Pag-uusapan natin ngayon ang tungkol sa gulay, gout attack at uric acid. Uunahin natin ano ang meron sa gulay. Pakinggan at manood mula kay Dr. Ken Berry.
I was wrong about eating vegetables. Back when I made this video back in December of 2017, I still fully believed in the magical nutrition found in vegetables and fruits and other plants. Since then, after 4 years of deep dive research into human nutrition, human physiology, and human medicine, I've discovered that I was wrong about the magic in plants. So this video that I made back in December 2017, I talked about 7 low-carb vegetables that at that time I thought you could eat as much of as you wanted and still realize all of the potential health benefits of a proper human diet. I found out in the recent years of deep research that you may just not be able to eat that many plants. And there's several reasons for that. And in this video, I'm going to go through those reasons of why you may be one of the few people who should either severely limit the intake of plants, whether they're vegetables, fruits, or others, or you may need to eliminate them completely from your diet. First reason is that it seems like many people, and I'm one of these people, I've been virtually plant-free in my diet for the last 3.5 years. And that means no vegetables, no fruits, virtually no nuts, no seeds. I've been eating just fatty red meat and eggs, occasional chicken and pork, and seafood. That has been the entirety of my diet. And I have not developed any vitamin or nutrient deficiencies. I actually feel better now at 53 years of age. The first problem for some of us is that vegetables just contain too many carbohydrates. And these come in the form of digestible, soluble carbohydrates like sugars and starches. But then for some of us, even the fiber in these vegetables and other plants cause problems down the line, further down the digestive line. And so for some of us, we need to eat such a low-carb diet that vegetables are just too high in carbohydrates. And so if you've stalled on your weight loss journey, or you're having some kind of weird inflammation that you just can't get a handle on, it may be time for you to try the challenge that I talk about later in this video. For many of us, the vitamins and minerals, which plants are full of, there's no doubt about that. So if you look up on the USDA Food Data Central database, you'll see that vegetables like cabbage and kale and spinach are full of vitamins and minerals. But the problem is that for many of us, they're not bioavailable, they're not bioabsorbable. Even though they're in there, we don't have access to them. So all the iron, for instance, that's found in spinach, most humans only absorb about 1% of the iron that's actually in the spinach. And what makes it so difficult to absorb many of the vitamins and minerals found in plants is that plants also contain something called anti-nutrients. This can range from phytates to lectins to oxalates to tannins to protease inhibitors to phytoestrogens. And all of these things make it very difficult for humans to absorb the vitamins and minerals out of many plants. If many of us eat those, not only are we not going to be able to absorb the nutrition, the vitamins and minerals, but we're also going to realize that these foods cause inflammation in our body. And so that's another big thing is inflammation. Some people can eat veg and other plants just fine without any seeming inflammation. Others of us have to avoid them because they immediately start to cause inflammation in the gut, which can manifest as constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gas. Some people will start to have inflammation in their skin in the form of eczema or psoriasis or other rashes and skin conditions. Some people will start to notice inflammation in their joints, such as reactive arthritis, osteoarthritis, and other things that we thought were chronic problems. But when we cut out the plants, all of a sudden that seemingly chronic permanent disability gets much better or goes completely away. Some people even notice a decrease in their mental health status. You can eat as much of that as you want every day, as many times a day as you want it. If you're hungry, eat. If you're not hungry, don't eat. You can also include eggs and butter and bacon in this so that you bump up your fat to protein ratio and you're able to get plenty of delicious, appetite-suppressing food.
Ngayon, pag-uusapan naman natin ang tungkol sa gout.
Hey, this is Dr. Barry. Let's talk about a disease or a disease process that plagues millions of people with severe joint pain, and that's gout. And I've seen lots of people with gout, and I've seen the people who follow the standard diet recommendations and take the standard pills who still continue to have severe, debilitating gout attacks. First of all, everybody knows we were taught that if you want to not get gout and not have gout flare-ups, you need to eat low fat, you need to eat a low purine diet, you need to avoid red meat, you need to avoid seafood, and these are just not true. And I'm going to go into the science behind this. Now, first, we're taught that having eating lots of purines, right, will increase your uric acid ultimately, and that'll lead to gout attacks. Well, here's a problem with that, and I want you to think about this fact. You make purines in your body. Now, where do they come from? Anytime anytime a cell breaks down ATP for energy or GTP for energy, purine is created. Okay? Anytime you break down DNA or RNA, purine is created. And so we call these endogenous purines because you make them yourself. What everybody's telling you is to avoid exogenous purines by eating a low purine diet, but the problem is your body actually makes 5 to 10 times as many purines from the breakdown of energy and DNA and RNA than you could ever eat if you ate a high purine diet every day of your life. Your body makes way more purines than you could ever eat. So first of all, that'd be like telling someone, oh, don't pour that cup of water in the ocean because you might flood the entire world. Next, we're going to go to lies that you can just totally forget because they're obviously silly. They're not true. They don't help you to prevent you from having gout, and they don't keep you from having gout flare-ups. So these are a low purine diet. We've already covered this. Eating a high purine diet has nothing to do with gout, okay? And the research, when you actually look at it, it's pretty clear that many people eat a high purine diet. They never have gout. Many people with gout eat a super low purine diet and they keep having flare-ups. It's got to be something else. The next one is that you should eat lots of fruit and veg. You should drink the juices of lots of fruits. Certain fruits are magic, lime juice, lemon juice. Certain veg is magical, celery juice, cherry juice. All these things were taught. There's no basis in research for this whatsoever. It doesn't make any common sense. Our ancestors 100,000 years ago never made juices from terrible advice, and I'll get to that later. You don't need these pills if you eat the proper diet. You don't need extracts of celery, of cherry. You don't need lemon, lime. You don't need any of this stuff. None of this stuff. These are lies you can just forget. Meaningfully alter a human being's blood acidity or alkalinity level by eating celery or cherries or any of that. That's all foolishness. None of that helps. And then I'm going to talk about the 10 steps that you can apply right now to keep from ever having another gout flare-up. Now, the truths that I want you to understand about gout, there's no doubt about this. The research shows it, the common sense verifies it. Inflammation is the problem. Gout is inflammatory in nature, okay? If someone has a gout attack in a joint, they have inflammation in that joint. Now, remember, even a normal joint can have uric acid crystals, so that's not necessarily the cause. The cause is inflammation. And if you eat a diet and live a lifestyle that's uninflammatory, you'll be much less likely to get gout. Next is fructose. Drinking lots of fructose is a terrible idea if you want to not have gout attacks. Stop drinking fruit juices. Stop drinking any soft drink or any drink that has high fructose corn syrup or sucrose, because sucrose is made of glucose and fructose. So anything that has sucrose in it or fructose is going to increase your likelihood of having a gout attack. Next is having an elevated insulin level in your blood is causing this. That's a big part of the cause, is if you're chronically hyperinsulinemic because you're eating too many carbohydrates on a daily basis, that will greatly increase your risk of a gout attack. Next is alcohol. Obese or overweight is directly related to gout attacks. Next is you've got to decrease inflammation in your body. You've got to get rid of industrial seed oils. They cause inflammation, like canola, like margarine, like soybean, like corn oil, peanut oil. All these things have a very bad omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, and they'll cause inflammation in your body. Inflammation, we now know, is one of the major causes of gout. Next is sugars and grains. Sugars and grains, and the reason I lump these together is because any grain, rice, wheat, oats, corn, when you break it down in your stomach acid, it immediately converts to glucose and fructose. Oh, wait. So sugars and grains are going to raise your blood sugar. That's going to make your blood insulin level go up. Remember, insulin, that's going to increase your risk of a gout flare up. So sugars and grains are not your friends. Next is you want to keep the insulin level very low. And you do that by eating a low carbohydrate diet, whether it's low carb, keto, or carnivore. These diets are going to slash your risk of ever having another gout attack. Next is you've got to get plenty of magnesium and potassium in your diet. Make as many ketones as you can. Beta hydroxybutyrate is an excellent anti-inflammatory. I don't want you to drink exogenous ketones. I want you to make your own ketones, and you do that by eating a ketogenic or a carnivore diet.
Hope you've learned something from this video. Please like and share and follow me for more low carb recipes and health tips.